First of all, though, Sky News can reveal the Prime Minister hauled Liberal MP Bridget Archer into a meeting after she crossed the floor over a national anti-corruption watchdog. Let's bring our political reporter Trudy McIntosh with this news we've brought you this morning. Trudy, what can you tell us about what took place in this meeting?
Well, Tom, this took place in the aftermath of the vote that took place on the floor of the House of Representatives before lunchtime yesterday, after the Liberal MP had voted against her government on the need to debate a National Integrity Commission. She was hauled for a meeting with the Prime Minister. On hand at the same time was the Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, and the Minister for Women. It's been put to me that this was not a formal dressing down, but rather a frank exchange. It was a decision that Bridget Archer didn't take lightly to cross the floor on this matter, and she felt she had to be accountable in any case for her decision that she'd made. Unlike other MPs who've threatened to cross the floor in the past, I'm told that Ms Archer didn't secure any sort of concessions in this meeting, that the Prime Minister, despite the debate about where his ICAC legislation is, gave no commitment about when that will be seen. There had been rumours from people who had heard secondhand that this meeting had taken place, that potentially it had had a frosty ending. That's not necessarily my understanding, that there was a handshake between Scott Morrison and Bridget Archer when this ended. This was put to the Prime Minister in Adelaide this morning.
Sky News has been told there was a meeting between you and Bridget Archer in your office yesterday after she crossed the floor. What was the tone of that meeting?
What was the
tone of that meeting?
Very positive and very encouraging. Bridget and I are close colleagues, and we have a very good friendship. And I was pleased to be there with Senator Payne and Josh Frydenberg, and to be there to support Bridget. Well, that's not how I'd describe it at all. It was a very warm and friendly and supportive meeting. Bridget is a close friend and colleague, and I wanted to ensure that she was being supported.
So a frank exchange, or warm and supportive, we'll let you decide. Trudy, coalition MPs having the right to cross the floor, of course. They don't always do it, though, despite a lot of threats.
There's often a lot of blustering around these issues, but Labor's raised the issue today regarding this story about double standards. We've seen a rump of Conservative coalition MPs making a whole series of threats this week about vaccine mandates. One in particular, George Christensen, actually did follow through and voted against government legislation in the House the other night. Labor raising the prospect there's different treatment being given to Bridget Archer that was directed towards Mr Christensen.
This is a Prime Minister who always acts in his own interest rather than in the national interest, and his actions against Bridget Archer are in stark contrast to his actions against the right-wing views of people like George Christensen and others who've undermined the efforts of Australians to get vaccinated so that we can return to life as normal.
This meeting with the Prime Minister has not deterred Bridget Archer. She says she reserves the right to cross the floor on any issue at any time, and, Tom, that her vote can't be taken for granted.
That's why we come here. It's the most important thing.
Which makes for a fascinating next sitting week. Trudy, thank you.